Alright, for this small video, what I'm going to show you how to do is take an equation, one that's on Math Excel, and we're going to use our graphing calculators to find the answer. So, the first thing I'm going to do, the equation that's up here, which is negative 1 x squared minus 6x minus 7, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my calculator, and I'm going to type that in. Okay, so here's my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and type that in. So I'm going to go up to y equals, and I'm going to go ahead and click on y equals, and I'm going to go ahead and type in negative 1 x squared, and then minus 6x minus 7. Okay, once you get it typed in, I'm going to go up to graph, and I'm going to go ahead and hit graph. Okay, right away when I look at it, you can see this is a maximum at the vertex. So here's my vertex right here. I'm going to go and write that on there. I'm going to write vertex. And then these other 2 points right here and here, those are my zeros. Okay, those are my zeros. So I'm going to go ahead and write zeros up there. The first thing that it asked me to do on Math Excel, though, is it asked me if it's a maximum or minimum. Since this opens down, okay, my vertex is the highest point on the graph, so this would be a maximum. So I'm going to go back into Math Excel, and I'm going to go ahead and mark maximum. Okay, so I'm going to go back in Math Excel. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and click on maximum. Okay, so I did that. The next thing, it says at Math Excel. It wants to know where the maximum is, which is your vertex. It is going to be coordinates. So I'm going to go ahead and type in, okay, a set of parentheses, and I'm going to go ahead and put the coordinates in. And I'm going to show you how to do that with the graphing calculator, how to find them. And notice how it says round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, round to the nearest hundredth. So let me go back to my graphing calculator. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase what I've written down. First thing I am going to find is the vertex, which we know is right here, what I just had written down. Okay, so here's what you're going to do to find the vertex. You're going to go in and you're going to hit second, trace, and you're going to get this list of options. My vertex in this case is a minimum, so it's number 3. So I'm going to hit 3. What it's going to ask you for, okay, is it's going to ask you for a number, an x value on the left side of your vertex and one on the right. That's what it means by left bound and right bound. So the way that I teach it, if this is my vertex right here, an x value to the left, anywhere to the left of it, somewhere over here would be the left, and somewhere over here would be to the right. So the first thing I'm going to choose is a number way to the left. So I'm just going to pick negative 5. That's way to the left. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. Thought I was going to hit enter. Let me go back into it. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, so second, trace. We said this was a maximum. So number 4, sorry, I said number 3 before. Number 4 is maximum. I'm going to go ahead and hit negative 5, enter. Notice when I hit that, an arrow shows up here right above the x that I picked. So that's on the left. I'll just use positive 5 for my right one, and I'll hit enter. Again, notice how this arrow is over here. So as long as my vertex falls somewhere in here, this range, it will find it. And it will find it when I hit enter one more time. So I'll hit enter one more time. There's my vertex. Okay, so on this one, if I round to the nearest hundredth, it ends up being whole numbers. It would be negative 3, positive 2. So I'm going to go back on Math Excel, and I'm going to type in negative 3, positive 2. Okay, so I'm back at Math Excel, so I'm going to go back to where it said at. I'm going to type in, what was it, negative 3, comma, positive 2, and that should be correct. And so down here now we got to find our zeros, okay, down in this spot. So if you'll notice, it says just separate them with a comma. So I'm just going to write the x-coordinate of each of the zeros rounded to the nearest hundredth, and I'm going to separate them with a comma. So let me go back to my graphing calculator. Okay, so here's my graph The zeros are where it crosses the x-axis, so on my graph, here's my zeros. I'm going to have 2 of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit second trace again. Second trace. I'm going to choose the 0 option, number 2. Okay, and I'm going to have to choose one to find. Okay, I'm going to have to choose one to find. So let's pick the one on the left. Okay, so there's a blue X on the one on the left. It's going to be real important when it asks me for the left bound. I can choose anything over here, any X value over here. When it asks me for the right bound, I can choose anything in this green to the right of it. I cannot go past the other 0, otherwise it won't know which one to find. So I'm going to end up typing -7, and this looks like 1, 2, 3, and -3 is my left and right bound. Okay, and it should find the one in the middle of those. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So my left bound, I'm going to make -7, and I'm going to hit enter. Again, notice how the arrow shows up above it. My right bound, I'm going to hit -3, hit enter. Notice how it shows up above it, and it should find the 0 in between them once I hit enter one more time. Okay, so -4.41 is one of the answers. Okay, so I'm just going to write it right here. So that 0 is -4.41. And now I'll go through and I'll go ahead and find my other 0. So again, when I choose my left bound, it's going to be a number in between here for the left side of it, and then anything to the right on my right bound. So a number just to the left of it, I can use -3 for X. A number to the right, anywhere on the right, I can use +2. Okay, so let me go through and I'm going to hit second trace, my 0 option again, which is number 2. And then for my left bound, I chose -3, enter. For my right bound, I chose 2, enter. And again, it will find any 0 that occurs between those arrows. Once I hit enter one more time, so hit enter one more time, there's my other one, -1.59. It's going to round up to 0.59, so that's my other one. -1.59. So I'm going to go back to Math Excel, and I'm going to type those in. Okay, so back on Math Excel, all it tells me is separate them with a comma. Again, I don't need to write the coordinate. So I have -4.41 as one of them, and it says just put a comma and type in your other one, -1.59, and that should be it. If I check it, which it says nice work, so that's right. And that completes how you do each of the questions on a graphing calculator.